Hello YouTube, Ventrua back, and I just want to talk to you about my new fresh adventure. I've started an SC trade yesterday and I've decided to give Slayer Frostblades a try. As I know a cat that tries to convince me that this build is good every day. And honestly, so far it has been outperforming my expectations by quite a lot. It does have less single target than Lightning Strike combined with Ball Lightning Strike, but honestly, I have to say that it kinda just feels better than Lightning Strike did for when I played Lightning Strike. But maybe that's caused because it's softcore, because I invested more into damage. But honestly, build is definitely very, very good, especially considering the gear I have. I've literally put this character with less than 1 divine in total together, and I haven't died a single time while completing my Atlas. I think I've died like once or twice since then, doing like rare corrupted tier 16s. But honestly, I've been running around with 3.5k life, no grace, just playing with haste the entire time, and the build just performs really, really well. You freeze everything, you kill everything quite fast, you have insane range, and yeah. There's very few things that this build sucks at. The only thing I would say, the single target is a little lower on this budget, mostly because it's difficult to generate charges on single target without relic cash, but again, that will get solved with gear very easily. I just wanted to do a full Atlas run and do like either Exarch and whatnot on gear that you would have on day one, just to see how it actually feels and whether this build is good for League Start. And while I still think Lightning Strike is probably better overall, there's a decent chance that Lightning Strike gets axed super hard next patch and this survives. So if that happens, I mean, this build would suddenly become the S tier League Starter on the spot. I will go over my budget POB, and I will talk about how much I spent on the gear. I feel like it's interesting information just to give you guys an idea on what stage of the league are we in, since you definitely wouldn't be able to get these items this cheap on League Start, but you still would be able to get this character going by the time you are done progressing your Atlas. One of the advantages of this build is the fact that you utilize Wide Wind, which is a very cheap weapon even on day one, because it's not very rare. And yes, it is quite good on day one, especially if you leave your hand empty, you get a decent amount of cold damage, good suppression, so it's also a defensive item. A decent amount of evasion, which is not to be underestimated, especially with the nerfs to Grace. And it's a solid 400-ish DPS weapon. I was searching for 415 or higher when looking for it, and 150% cold damage or better. And I paid for this 3 kills. Obviously, on League Star, this is probably going to be like 10, 15, 20. I'm not sure exactly. I didn't check PoE Ninja League Star prices. But it's still going to be cheaper than trying to get a rare, and it's not even close. Heat Shiver, I paid for 8C for my Heat Shiver. This is just a staple for builds that freeze. It's too good not to, even after the nerfs. And endgame, I feel like you can actually drop this because you have a lot of cold-specific scaling and a lot of cold pen and whatnot, so the fire damage becomes less relevant. But I think early on, it's just too good to use, and it allows you to cheat some damage. I bought a Corrupted 5-link for 5C, and it definitely doesn't have the ideal colors. It uses 4 red here, which is the reason why I had to go with the setup I went with. Multi-strike, Inspiration, Elemental Damage with Attacks, and Ruthless. Ideally, this Ruthless would be Ice Bite or Added Cold or Awaken Added Cold. Or you could have a blue gem here and use increased crit damage. There's definitely other options that would be better than Ruthless. It's just I didn't really want to spend forever looking for a rare 6-link, so I decided to go with 4 red. It's fine. It doesn't make that big of a difference, but, you know, definitely, if you're curious why am I using these links and not the links that other people are using, this is why. I use Celestial Brace to get Fortify on hit, because it's kind of hard to get it early. And yes, you wouldn't have access to these early in the league because they are an Uber Exarch drop, but there's a lot of other gloves you could use. One example of gloves you should probably use on League Start is Southbound. These gloves are insane on League Start. It gives you a lot of flat damage, cold rest, and it gives you a lot of max life. So this is something you should go for if you are League Starting on actual League Start. And it is probably going to perform better than Celestial Brace anyways, as it will give you more damage. But at this point, when Celestial Brace is like quite obtainable, since I paid 20C for this decent roll, I think they are very good. The way you can get Fortify otherwise is you could get a Fortify Mastery, or you can get it as an implicit on a body armor later. But again, I'm using a corrupted body armor, so that wasn't really an option. So I opted for these gloves. My boots, I just needed to get my int to actually equip Wide Wind. That's pretty much all they do. Move speed, resist, nothing too special. A little bit of life, mana. Carnage Heart, very, very good amulet. All attributes, we need that. Resist, I mean, everyone needs that, right? And damage while leeching. The only downside of Carnage Heart is the extra gore, but you can deal with it, surely. Rare ring with some accuracy and chaos rest. I paid 10 chaos for this ring. I paid 20 chaos for taming. This ring is just too good. We have chill, freeze, ignite, and shock from skitterbots, or if you have a little bit of lightning damage somewhere. So it adds up to way too much damage. And early on in the league, you are probably better off assembling taming yourself by combining Beric's grip, pass, and respite, because it's probably going to be cheaper than actually buying taming with any decent roll. So keep that in mind as an option if you are looking to simulate early league start. And 10C for a belt. Nothing too special. I mean, on league start, this belt would probably be a bit more, but none of this gear is like insane or anything, right? And the build performs really, really well. You don't really struggle in maps at all. One thing that I want to mention though, and that is very important, is you should utilize Tincture and you should get good at using Tinctures. Tinctures, if they don't get nerfed, which I do think that this Elephant Tincture might get nerfed next patch, are just insane. I didn't want to roll it because rolling Tinctures is actually awful, so I paid like 13C for this one. In total, including the Frostblades of Catabasis gem that I paid 15C for, I paid 110 chaos for this entire character, which is less than 1 divine, and it is able to do all tier 16 content, or not all tier 16 content, but like a regular map progression in tier 16s, and without any issues, not dying or anything. Build is just very, very solid. And I can't really imagine GGG nerfing Frostblades too much next week, but we will see. We will have to see. If they don't, I think this build is going to be a very, very good league starter. And I actually cannot wait to play the higher budget version of this with Relic Cash and Maven Brutal Charge build. And I will post an update of that for tomorrow. So make sure to tune for that one in. But that is going to be all from me for today. If you like the video, please make sure to like and subscribe. It helps a lot. Leave a comment if you have any questions or if you just want to help the channel. And I will see you guys next time. Bye.